photo shoot. Yeah, flash, flash, flash. You are looking at a legend in the flesh. Fresh about the kitchen to the check. Blew a quarter key on the set. Hold up, pose. BB's in the chain looking wet. Deposit ain't hit the count yet. Shit ain't verified, let me check. Hold up, pose, yeah, pose, yeah, pose. I am a photo shoot, pose. I am, pose. It's a photo shoot. Dope boy, I'm a Polaroid. Photos make me paranoid. Bitch up in up her camera phone. This that shit I be trying to avoid. Bitch, I ain't trying to make no blog with you. Ho, I ain't walking through the mall with you. Not me. Tough guy all on the radio. I should take a picture. You got the laws with you. She been sending me pictures in the X-rated. Word on the street that I X-hated. He doing lame shit and I'm irritated. I don't do no fuck shit. I'm a hater, baby. She wanna eat the dick on camera. Pussy ball head like Amber Rose. Tight look right, it's a camera. Toe. Photo shoot. Pause, 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 photo shoot. Pause, 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 photo shoot. Pause, photo shoot. You are looking at a legend in the flesh. Fresh about the
Cuando va pa' la disco ella queda encendida. Llega con todas las amigas. Ella baja downtown si te pisa todo. Mientras rebote ella dice que sanó. DJ que le ponga una redón. Ella le gusta el reggaetón, ton. Que está suelta y quede en la presión.
This is the remix. Como lo mueve esa muchachota. Metiéndole el dembow a que se bota. Y yo poteo aquí con esta nota. La miro y rebotan. Como lo mueve esa muchachita. Le mete el dembow y no se quita. Yo tengo el ritmo que la debilita. Ella tiene nalga y tetita.
El ambiente está como pa' prender un blon. Camino a Palomino, voy bajando de Bayamón. La baby en bikini, el bote con el musicón. Hoy vamos a gangadear por le dembow con reggaetón. Que este es un party de gantel, de los maleantes. Pa' vete cabrón, si en verdad tú no la haces. Y toda la baby, y todos los tigers. Que tú no pares. Funk, tropicalito con coronita y limón. Empecé suavecito y termina con el patrón. El güey no me grita, diablo farro, está cabrón. Y yo aquí con una nota, guayando tremendo bizcocho. Pues suéltate conmigo, mamá, que yo me voy a soltar, ven. Y yo sé que te loco, mamá. Ven, dame lo que quiero y mamá.
Yo tengo todo lo que un hombre necesita. No te confundo si me ves calladita. Por fuera sana, por dentro de agüita. Chiquita con las pompis paraditas. Apaga los celulares, aquí no quiero fotos. Pa' que este perreo se quede entre nosotros. Y dime si tomo tu presión, pero
Yo poteo aquí con esta nota. La miro y rebotan. Como lo mueve esa muchachita. Le mete el dembow y no se quita. Yo tengo el ritmo que la debilita. Ella tiene nalga y tetita. Ya tienes 18, entonces estás en ley. Quiero acampar en tus montañas de calle. Que libraste a los 16. Ok, andamos en el dembow con el fucking Charlie White. Ey, bájale mami como 7500. Me tienes en estado de aborrecimiento. Si tú me das un break, yo te voy a hacer un cuento. ¿Quieres conocer la Junita? Yo te lo presento. Más raya falta que presión. Como se le marca el pantalón. De la camisa le explota el botón. Y para el cielo no hay Uber, pero me tienes pidiendo pon.
Y el diablo, Dios te reprenda. Por ti vendo la casa, los carros y hasta las prendas. No te han dicho ni que en la cama es una leyenda. Pero tú también tienes carita de tremenda.
Pero tú eres una jodienda.
Ella pide más y eso le daré. Yo la voy a castigar.
Sweating. Just finished working out. Just watching gold fly. Bullish. Still bullish. I told you guys. When we were live this morning. Now it's gonna come back maybe to the 50s lower, but we were live this morning over here if you were on this morning, I said you could look for buys on gold. You can put your stop loss below this low. Just, you know, try to ride it up. Like this thing, we've been bullish for a reason. There's a reason we're looking for buys, right? There's a reason we're looking for buys, and we're not looking for sells, okay? There's a reason we're fucking every day, every week, I mean. There's a reason every week we're just looking for buy setups on gold, right? Same thing every week, pretty much. It's gonna pull back. It just ran up because the news that just came out. I did tell you guys, if you're in inner circle, 3,200, before the week started, 3,200, you know, 3,200. Everyone was at like, where's 3,200's back here? It's like, some of you guys bought there. Could have held those trade like short term. Like, that's what I mean. A lot of the setups are, you know, you take some setups. Certain setups I take when I'm positioning myself, like, I say a lot of setups we take, it's like, we could just close them right now, profit, or try to hold the 4-hour time frame, you know, what's showing on something like the 4-hour down there, which can be days. It's, you know, we're not joking when we say TP tomorrow. Sometimes I'm not, it might sound like I'm joking when I say that, but TP tomorrow. I slept on some trades, and that gave me the benefit of the doubt. Sleeping, not looking at the trade, always waking up like, oh, nice, letting your winners run. Now you gotta wait for a good little return, you know, like this is the first pullback. It's aggressive. It could bounce but come back down, retrace more. Bounce up, correct down more. It could come down back. I even said like it could break above resist like 2350. So it might come back to retest 23,250. Still overall bullish, right? I was at the gym when I saw this news. A lot of trending news right now. So these tariffs, like, obviously there's a lot of different headlines coming out day by day, right? Every day you're getting these headlines: inflation, tariffs, trade wars, interest rates, Fed rates, bunch of stuff, right? It's a lot deeper than that. One guy is telling the whole world it's going like this, you know. So it's, no one really knows what's gonna happen. That's why the gold is trading how it is. It's just showing you that there's so much uncertainty. No one's really knowing what's gonna happen 90 days from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. There's strategy. By the end of the day, no one knows. Yeah, like it's still so early on in all of this. Really, it's just still the beginning in all of this. Trump's president for 4 years, and this whole tariff stuff's really started, you know, coming into decent. Like Bitcoin was like past 100K. The tariffs rumors, the tariff like December towards January. So all those rumors back in December coming into January, that's when Bitcoin was trading up here, and tariffs, all these rumors, and then, you know, freaking coming into like February, March, it was crazy times, and then even more April. Like these past couple months. We're going to talk about Bitcoin soon, because Bitcoin is still strong. Whether you if you're just excluding every other crypto out and you're looking at Bitcoin's price action, it's still strong. Like you might not like 83K, but like we're almost today. We're at 86 today, just below 90,000 a coin. Just below 90,000 a Bitcoin, right? 100K is up there. We all might not like the price action of the crypto market, but you gotta look at Bitcoin and have some. I kind of admire it. It's not terrible, but how Bitcoin's trading, especially with everything that's going on. Like, it's down 31%. That's a big percentage, yes. But the price it's still trading at is what we're looking at. We're still like, it's not that far from 90,000. Still holding a value. There's still an accumulation happening on it. There's an accumulation happening on it, because like if it wasn't being accumulated, it would have crashed a lot, right? Like, yeah, 31%. We don't like that. It bucks a lot of other markets up in the crypto space, right? Not that long ago, while I was at the gym, Hong Kong suspends postal service for all goods being sent to the U.S. South Korea and Vietnam agree to strengthen trade relations in response to U.S. tariffs. 2 hours ago? 37 minutes ago. So that's maybe why gold is like, gold just pumped up in the last 2 hours. Look at what just came out 2 hours ago and 38 minutes ago. Hong Kong, postal service for all goods being sent to U.S. I mean, I think gold just reacted to all that news. Look at the last 2 hours on gold. Dollar dumping. Euro's finding maybe like euro's up, GU's up. Gold just ripped up last 2 hours, right? And we had this news. We have more news. China, if you look at if you watch their press conferences and stuff, he says we're not scared, we have no fear. You know, the way they talk. JP Morgan CEO calls on U.S. to engage with China and trade war. But yeah, that's why it's good to have a Twitter. You know, I have Twitter. I literally was out doing reps at the gym, and I look at my phone and might be there like literally, it's like literally this is all I saw on my phone while I'm at the gym. I'm like, oof. You know what I did? I quickly just clicked buy. I just went on my phone, bought. Did some reps, up a quick $900. Nice. Just literally went, I saw that one. Not even 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh. News is coming out every day like this. I mean, 5 hours ago, White House says President Trump is open to negotiating a trade deal with China. It's I mean, because obviously everything going on is affecting both sides. So Trump coming out here, guns blazing, showing I'm not bluffing, I don't care what I have to do on both sides. And then negotiations happen. Did you hear what they might do with the tariffs, money that comes in, how they might buy Bitcoin? So they don't want to U.S. Reserve doesn't want to purchase Bitcoin without with a cost. They don't want to They don't want to have it already cost them to buy it. Like, they don't want to have it cost them money necessarily to buy it. So with these tariffs, I'll pull it up in a bit. We're going to talk more about Bitcoin on this call. We'll be on, but overall, like, bullish momentum for gold, because look what happened 38 minutes ago. And just a lot of uncertainty. There's like Nvidia, I think, like, what, 500 billion or something. What was it? I forget how much money Nvidia is going to invest in the States. Honda, companies, money regardless, companies could be looking to work in the States. There's a lot of things. I think we'd have to do like a 4-hour call to go over a bunch of stuff. But that's Trump's plan, right? If you saw the news with Nvidia today, this morning, to, what was it? What, wait. Where was it? Oh, was it? What was this? Nvidia faces 5.5 billion charge as U.S. restricts chip sales to China. But then I'll pull up a few things. Look at gold. Like, let me look at the chat. Anyone catch gold buys? I mean, I did. We were on Saturday. We were on Saturday. We were on Sunday twice. We were on yesterday. We were on this morning. Yesterday morning I hopped on. Like, this morning I hopped on and was saying, like, it was a good time to hop on this morning. There was an engulfing candle. It retraced that engulfing candle. There was a good accumulation. The accumulation stayed true. What I saw stayed true. Remember what I was saying? I was like, it'll probably pull back because it made that high, right? It broke structure on both sides, but it took the lows. It swept the lows first, and then it took out the highs. If you're on this morning, I ran it down pretty, I mean, as pretty much on point as you could get with what was happening with price, with what was there in that moment, right? With what was on the chart in front of us, right? If you're looking at structure, like, that is a good accumulation right there. And I even mentioned this morning, like I said, like, if price stays true to this, it could just go up, right? And it's ripping right now, and little do you know, there's just more news coming out. I think there was something with Nvidia today. I want to find the Nvidia stuff, because right there. So President Trump, something with Nvidia. Oh, this is about the tariffs. There was an interview. This guy, Anthony, whatever his name is, interviewed Bo. What's his name? A lot of news. It's too late to jump in. Oh man, you want to get in on the pullbacks. You don't want to be, if you're buying while price is going up. Like, you want, these are the types of when price does this. So the gold does this all the time. Gold breaks out all the time. So, like, if you look at, like, for instance here, it started breaking out here. First pullback on the 5-minute. Like, and then it goes up. Maybe that turned into like a 15-minute. Like, gold will break out a lot. It'll break out with momentum, and then you'll get these pullbacks. So, like, you just got, like, when you get these big breakouts, these big price moves, these pullbacks can happen. Right now, you just got one in the 5-minute. Maybe the 15 or 30. Like, eventually, like, a higher time frame will pull back and kind of just do what the 5-minute just did. Eventually, the 30-minute could do that, or the 1 hour could do that. I still have some entries. Hallelujah. I've been bullish on gold if you guys have been following me. Right? I've been just bullish. I mean, it's made sense. There's just so much uncertainty. And then even Goldman Sachs. A lot of news today. There's a cool interview that happened. It's posted on YouTube. With Bo Hines. This guy. talking about like how the U.S. would strategically purchase Bitcoin. This isn't him. It's the guy that he's that's Anthony. Him.
You know, what you can do is use that extra funding to buy more big.
They're talking about using the tariffs funds that come in to use those funds to purchase Bitcoin instead of having to, use whatever they have. Because there's another bill that goes into Bitcoin that it doesn't matter the cost. So there's like another bill, Senator Loomis's bill, which is to buy 1 million Bitcoin over the next 4 or 5 years or something like that. But that strategy comes at whatever cost it takes. It doesn't matter. Like we gotta buy it. We gotta just buy 1 million Bitcoin over X amount of time. That other bill has that strategy. What's being said is they want to find a way to go past something like that where they don't have no cost, where it's like these tariffs, for instance. They talk about it in this interview. It's like a 1 hour interview, and this is only like a minute part here. I'll play it in a bit, but if you go on YouTube, you can easily find it. I think I even posted it in Discord. Like with right now, prices really exhausted up. We know it's bullish momentum. You can't really see the pullback that just happened on the 30-minute. But when you go to 5 minutes, like I gave that first pullback. You want something like that, maybe on a 15 or kind of happen on or 30, a 1 hour. Gold will always do that. Gold will always break up with momentum. It'll have times where like it breaks out. Like even this morning, this break up, the first pullback, like the 5 minute starts pulling back, goes up. This would have been like a nice 15-minute pullback here if you go to the 15-minute chart. Oh, this is 1 minute I'm on. Oops, there we go. Right here, like this broke up and it pulled back, right, and continued. But even if you look at like price going further, you have these strong breakouts of momentum that are kind of signifying and telling you like I want to go up, like I'm bullish, like I have momentum that way. You don't want to be buying on those candles. You honestly want to let a pullback like this happen. It could be on a 5 minute, a 15, a 30, and I mean like the more you see, the more you keep an eye on gold, you'll see these moves happen where it can break up, give you a pullback, and that pullback can be an entry. There could be gradual ones, like it was going up quick, little pullbacks. These little 5 minute pullbacks are sticking, and you just got a bigger one here. You want like those, like on a 15, on a 30. Price overall to me, bullish still. But if you can get a bigger retracement. Man, this morning we were here, 3,200. In this market condition, like, in this market condition, gold swings are, there for the last couple of months. So it's your hold. If you have a entry, if you're bullish, if you're buying gold right now, you're going with the trend. There's a reason for the last, January, February, March, now April, 3-4 months that we've been looking for buys mainly because those are going with the trend, right? So if I'm sticking with that, it's like some of you guys hold a crypto for 2 years, a year, so it can go up for 2 months, 3 months, right? This, it's gonna go up at some point. This is just going with the trend where I'm willing to hold. How long are you willing to hold knowing it's gonna go up, right? Going in that trend. But week by week, day by day, month by month, we've been in this uptrend. Even all these, like something like this, see if a bigger pullback like this happens, that's on a 30-minute. Like, see how price, even down here, breaks up, there's pullbacks, it breaks higher, there's these pullbacks, there's these times of momentum that pull back. There are these times where momentum is really going higher and it gives you pullbacks. Momentum is going higher and it gives you a pullback in there, right? If you're looking even over here at the price action, right? If you're looking at these highs higher highs. The market dumps. It breaks up and it makes a higher high. That pullback takes you just into another buy, right? So like right here, this right here, right? Where the market trades up, makes a higher high, pulls back. That's a good pullback on the 15-minute. This went down for a good 15, 30, 45 minutes, and you can see there's a nice pullback there, takes it back up. A lot of times you'll get those moves where there's momentum up, that first pullback, it could stick, or the market flushes out, right? Like if you're looking at here, if you're looking at like some of these moves, like this goes up, pulls back, goes up. Same thing happens here. It goes up, pulls back, doesn't stick. Comes down, doesn't stick. It created a much bigger pullback. There was some buys there, but I've watched on my phone. I can do this on my phone. Look at gold on my phone and watch the pullbacks as they're kind of happening, and know like, okay, this is a good pullback happening. You get used to it. That's why I just spend time on gold and don't trade anything else, because there's enough movement for it. It has the, what's the market cap on gold now? $22 trillion market cap now. So when you're going across time zones, New York, Australia, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Singapore, Asia, UK, Frankfurt, Europe, London, right? Going in all those different time zones, look how much money's in it. So there's at different times, there can be movement. It can move at 3 in the afternoon. It can move at 9 in the morning. It can move at 2 a.m. It can move at 8 at night. It can move at 10 p.m. It can move anytime. It's called versatility, right? It's so big and it's been around for so long. It's very sustainable with that movement. It moves. It can move at 9:30. It can move at 12 p.m. It can move at 3. It can move between 3 o'clock and 5 p.m. in the afternoon before the market closes. It can move right when the market opens. It can move right before London. It can move during London. It can move before New York. It can move in New York. It's a volatile asset. So versus like looking at 5 currency pairs or a bunch of currency pairs, you have this one thing that moves more than all of them, really. I mean, you'd have to wait for pullbacks probably tonight. Let it come down to 32.50, if anything. Let it come down. Let it give you pullbacks. I wouldn't chase like these green candles necessarily, because it could come down to. It just tried to. Just came down to like 23.55, 23.56. 23.250. I mean 23. 32.56, 32.50. I'm just gonna say 250. 3,250. The prices are changing so much. Because now you're above here. Remember what I was saying? We're above, I was saying we're above this. We don't have to come back to it. We can just, remember what I was saying? Like a lot of you guys are bearish on gold. I was saying it's about how price was delivered here. Price action doesn't just move like that unless there's a lot of buying power and demand in there. It's how I was saying that on Saturday. I was saying that on Friday. I was saying that on Saturday, and I was saying it Sunday, and I was saying it's how price carried itself here, how it came up here, how price was delivered here. Yeah, like you could have saw a head and shoulders, a distribution, and it's high. But the way it got here, it's how it got here that keeps demand underneath us. And more signals just keep coming out. More like look at just this, that just, I think that just kind of two things. And look at what happened coming in. Not only that, look at what happened coming into this week, right? Russia, Ukraine, that was a signal. It was a clear signal to think like it's terrible. I didn't mean to laugh there. It's terrible. Like, what happened coming into this week? So what, like, if you're thinking bearish coming into this week, there was a major conflict, crisis this weekend when the market was closed. Remember what I said Saturday, Sunday? Wait till the world wakes up and digests this. You know, like, wait, because when this happened, people didn't even know about people didn't even know this happened. I didn't know until I woke up and started streaming. So you had this before the market even opened this week. Meanwhile, the market was already fueled up here. It was fueled up here, right? There's enough. How it got here, like how it was delivered here, just shows there's so much demand. I was saying that on Saturday. I was saying that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was saying that. So anything I'm saying right now, I'm not speaking in hindsight right now. I was talking about this before we got here, right? There's something, man. The market, shit is hitting the fan. Maybe gold's literally on the way to $3,500. Like, gold could literally go to, like, if, like, it looks like it's on the way to 3,300, right? I gave you guys buys this morning, if you're on. I gave you guys buys yesterday morning, and I talked about 3,200 buys. I'll have to wait till I can find another buy, like another entry that's safe for you guys too. Like, I don't want to be too aggressive right now. That would have been a good entry. Like, my job is to teach you guys, but I don't want to fucking get us in a position here and it just dumps. So, like, if you're on this morning, if you're on yesterday morning, and if you're in Inner Circle and you're on Saturday, Sunday, I talked about that 3,200. I kept saying, I don't know how many times I said 3,200. It's like the only price I can get right. Sometimes I keep saying the price. Let me know in chat, how did your guys? It's Tuesday, and I mean, Powell speaks tomorrow. It's Tuesday, and it's like, frig, like, your week could be done. Like, realistically, like, don't get greedy if you flipped your account. I'm up, man. This is where preparation meets the opportunity. Preparation meets opportunity like this, you know, when you're prepared. See, that's why I went live. I go live with you guys in Inner Circle on Saturdays in case there's something to kind of just think ahead of time, right? I go live with you guys in Inner Circle twice on Sundays for a reason. It's kind of like where you kind of have that preparation ahead of time, like 3,200. And we saw some news on the weekend that kind of made us, like, we were on top of this. So a lot of people might think, weekends, good time to just chill, go out. I still have fun. Like, I still do my thing. I still, like, enjoy my weekends. But you got, like, I like to prepare before the week. A lot of people get comfortable on the weekend, Sunday, chill day. I like to kind of be a little bit prepared because, like, it could be like, you could be Tuesday and be like, damn, my week's like done. You could be chill. You could be chill. You could be, all right, I made some money. Let me chill. Wait for a good pullback. Let me wait for this thing to dump. If anything, it'll probably have a retracement at some point, right? Whether it's today, tomorrow, maybe when Powell speaks. Powell speaks tomorrow as well, right? Jerome, good old Jerome. Good old Jerome. Good old J-Rome. Should I be selling gold? Ask the chat. Chat, what do you think? What do you think I'm going to say? You want my answer? Let the chat tell you. And then I'll tell you. Because I might rip you up first. Have you been paying attention? Maybe you're new. That just pissed me. You just ask about sells. You say the S word. These past, we try not to bring that word around here the last 4 months. The S word. That word, the S word hasn't really been in our vocabulary the last couple months for gold. Especially in these times of uncertainty when the R word is getting mentioned every week now by really big names. They're throwing the R word out there. They've been throwing the R word around. The S word, we don't know. I mean, S word sells ain't in my vocabulary, but there's been some scalps. Some sell. There has been. What's it at? 75. Like if the quarter holds, maybe. Like sells are aggressive to me. I would wait. I would let a sell happen, and then when that, prepare for what that sell could turn into if it's a retracement, a buy the dip situation. Because what if it just dumps? Yeah, it could dump $20, $30, and you have a good sell. I want to prepare. I'm still just following the trend, Chat knows. If you've been here, you know. It's been pretty much the same flow for 3 months. I hope maybe it lasts like this till 2026. Yeah, she's still pushing. I got positions on gold. Still, fam. I want to hold till 3,300. I want to try to just hold my shit out till 3,300, to be honest. Anything I have low entries. I've been telling you guys since yesterday morning. If there's a big dump, that's how you could. It's still Tuesday. Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow. Volatility tomorrow. So that could shake the market tomorrow. Maybe there's a sell-off closer to Jerome Powell, or when he speaks, maybe there's volatility that really just brings price down quickly. In New York tomorrow, because clearly Tokyo, going into Sydney, Tokyo, Asia, Hong Kong, they're bullish. they right. It's just anything else come out? You guys see any other news? Drop in the chat. How's your guys' week? How's everyone's week? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, and the price has moved a lot, right? We get one of these. We might get one of these, but faster. We might get one of these, but faster. Maybe bigger too. How big was that? How big was that drop? That went from I was like, oh, that was decent. $30. Oh no, it's $21. So like a $21 drop wherever that comes in. Like I'm not saying it's gonna come from here, but we could get if you look back here, one of these, but maybe steeper, faster. Get one of these back, like a retracement back. It's either gonna be a shallow, gradual retracement like that, or just I would expect a faster one. I'll show you what I mean. Basically something like this, a bit maybe faster, bigger, faster. Or back here, where is it? This, something like this, even faster, down, bigger. I'm gonna read what you guys are saying. Man, I've been telling you guys. Sells, you're going against freaking ETFs that are inflowing right now. ETF inflows are up. Sells, you're I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll tell you. I say when it's over. I tell you when the bull trend is over. Gold, if you look at stocks, stocks and companies that are doing really good are mining companies and ETFs for gold, stock companies, gold, stuff like that. ETFs for gold. Those are up on the year, and honestly, in the last 3 months. Well, look at since these tariffs started. Actually, that's not even the last 3 months. If you're looking at let's look at last year, right? Since May 2020, over here, May, April, right? Price was healthy, uptrending, correction, and we're coming into just this, and then What just happened here? Here's April. Boom, 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 boom. Like April 6th. ETF, more inflows. So gold ETFs are seeing more inflows coming. GLD, look at same chart, just different ETF. I wonder what that'll be trading at in the morning. That probably might be above 300 tomorrow, right? When the U.S. market opens up. There's so if you look here, if you're looking at inflows, they've been going up since February and then really coming into March and April for this ETF alone. But look at for instance, like since May, this has been an uptrend, right? But look at just here we have April. April is just kicking off, strong price movement. For these gold ETFs. More inflow there's just a lot more inflow happening for gold physically through ETFs right now. London, right, you can see how Tokyo is trading for this right now, extremely bullish. Go up, make a high. London could retrace maybe. See how Europe, like later Hong Kong, Europe market opens. If there's a retracement, because right now it's touching 75 quarter level. Like, yeah, if you just buy and put your stop loss all the way down here, but it's a big gap. Like, it's better wait for a retracement and still even use, like, if you're using a big stop loss, to just hold for a swing. Oh yeah, it's at 75 right now, so resistance. Now we're forming resistance at a price. We formed some support here around 55. $50 down here. That'll be my buy zone if it comes down like there. There's a night, like, see what happened around 45? How we went down and we broke through, and we broke through 50. So like there's a demand here, right? This pushed up from here, it sold, and you have that engulfing candle. This pushed up 45. That's around 45. Back, like, if we could, I'll price trace, because now it might make resistance here. That's a good thing if it makes resistance, because if it were to break up, you could look for a retest. If it were to make you don't even have to worry about the buys. If it makes a resistance here, that's a good kind of indicator moving forward, even, because creates a structure there. If it were to ever break above that level with resistance there, you could potentially look for a break and retest above that level. Right now you have support here, so like any pullbacks to there or lower could flip. Anything, it's a big price range, but still gonna market, because I see a few things. There's an engulfing candle, there's an imbalance here, right? It came down, pumped up through 3,250. So you have like this low. You gotta see how price starts to trade here. Like if it's gonna break up, pull back, or if we're gonna come down. Because if you're looking at everything here right now, the deepest I would see would be down here. Would be like Yeah, now there's a resistance here, so that's good because future, if price does break higher, you have a potential setup later on if whatever price does. It depends on how price trades here because it could come back to the low, bounce off of it, or it could flush that low, trade into like this imbalance where this move started from, but make support. Still all bullish. Just depends on where price moves from here. If it keeps breaking up, then it'll form a high, probably pull back to this level, and then go up, right? If it were to just break through this, it would end up making a new high, and then it would have a retracement, and probably continue. Hopefully that makes sense. This is a few things, scenarios. Overall, it's like still bullish. The way it's moving just shows it's bullish. You want to wait for pullbacks. It's Tuesday. You have time. There's probably going to be like Jerome speaks tomorrow, so you have time like to have a pullback. Even similar to what just happened. Like look at, even this was almost how much? This was $20 almost. You want to be waiting for decent sized pullbacks with the volatility there is, and you're trying to catch these moves up. You want to be waiting for like $30 pullbacks and be okay with waiting for those. Not chase just every move. Wait for a $20 pullback, wait for a $30, $40 pullback, wait for a good enough drop in price, right? To where you can start to see if this is a good time to set up. Like that's what you want to wait for. You don't have to always be in the market, right? If you can just get good at keeping up with price, knowing where it's at, and the market drops $40, you can now evaluate the situation the market's in. Like, okay, it just dropped $40. Is this a good time to be buying? Like, especially if you're trying to follow that trend, or if you miss out, if price breaks up and you miss out, and you're like, oh man, I missed the buys, and it's like, okay, I gotta wait for that next drop, that next pullback. There's time in the week if another pullback's gonna happen. Because like you just saw one on the 5 minute, 15 minute kind of too, but there could be that could happen on the 30 minute or the 1 hour, right? On a higher time frame. Yeah, like sells could happen. I'm not interested in sells though. Like right now you're at resistance here you hit 75. So if you hit, yeah, like if you're looking at price, so 75 right now. $3,275. So that's a quarter. I would want to see like, so 23.50. We broke above 23.50. 3,250. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. Shows you how like rapidly prices in these 3,000s now. Yeah, right now we're at a quarter level. This, honestly, like if this came back to 50, I would have slapped it. I was like ready for this pullback to come back to 50, but it just, it hit like 55. 3,250 or even lower, like that would be the next quarter. And that gives you like a good size pullback. $25, $30. I like to let those just happen. I'm not chasing sells or catching any of the sells lately that gold's been providing. There's been some good ones. Like there's one happening right now that could drop, right? This candle that we're on could drop. Market could drop a bit here. I've been just letting like even these and bigger than that, because that like those are pretty those are like the average on the 15 and on the 5 minute and the 15 minute time frame when price is breaking up. Those are like, those and bigger are the moves I like to just let happen when I know where the market is. I know the market's in an uptrend. If you've been tuning in for the last 4 months, we've only been looking for buys like religiously on gold here. Me personally, like shorts they could be fast. It's not going with the trend though. It's like going against the grain. Yeah, wait for that PB. We'll wait for some good pullbacks tonight. London or tomorrow, New York could offer pullbacks, because if you look at how price today, price coming into New York was dropping today. New York was buys, so even look at like some of the drops. Look at look at some of these drops here on gold. Down. Buys after. Those types of pullbacks are good to wait for when the market's. If you're seeing green candles, it's like, okay, I need a pullback, right? With the volatility, on gold, you don't want to be entering on these green candles, because that pullback happens, you'll be in a quick drawdown. Quarters, I go through a lot about the quarters on my sessions. Chat should be, it's 25s, 50s, 75s. If you go on my Discord, go in the Discord. I even have videos on it on YouTube. I told everybody coming into this year, it's going to be a different year of volatility. Like, if you haven't traded in the last 2 years, if you only started trading the last 2 years, you haven't experienced volatility like this before. That we got in these coming months. Go on the blueprints. Like, we talk about the quarters a lot on these sessions. Keep tuning in. Quarters are just every $25 marked on price. Like, if you were to start at 3,300 and you go $25 down, you're at 75. And you go another $25 down, you're at 50. That lightning. Oops. So $25 down from 50. So you take a $100 range, right? You take a $100 price range. $100 meaning from 3,200 down here, or zeros, like the zeros, 3,200. So, I like to say 3,200. That's a new, after that first, comma there, 3,200, 3,300, 3,400, 3,500. So you have your $100 range. You break it down into 4 quarters equally. $25, $50, $75, $100 zeros. Coming into this week, I was saying 3,200 buys. That's the bottom there, you can see. Hey. So right now 25's gone. So like if you look around 50, there's even like a little, like, but below 50 there's resistance. There's 2 resistance levels to maybe wait for 50, or a bit lower. We could even say 50-45, 50-40 at the most, 45 there. Or if you look way lower, if the market really wants to dump closer to like 25, back here, there's resistance back here. I'm looking now, kind of like, okay, we're above here. See to the left. It lines up even with the quarter. We're going to pull back to that. Take us to 3,300. You guys got any charts? If you have any charts, you can drop them in the chat on gold. If you have any charts, any markups. I'm gonna read the chat real quick, see what it's saying. Is there a way to see a dump coming ahead of time? Some ways, yeah. I can go over some stuff, but I have really good intuition. It's when price is extended like this, you have to expect like a retracement. Yeah, so not bad. If we get pullbacks, retracements, first area to watch. Even about you don't have to look for that. Like again, to get to 3,300 would take holding time, right? It would take long holding time. If you're trying to target 3,300, just you gotta hold that. But you could get a bounce. You could get like a reaction probably there when we come down around that area. We'll see. I mean, it's Tuesday. There's the rest of still a Tuesday night. Well, we're going into Wednesday. It's Wednesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, still time for it to drop and maybe form a good setup. Yeah, that's a lot of pips to drop. So I like that. I like that for now, just waiting for that because it's still Tuesday. Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow. If you're looking at like smaller time frames, you could watch this low, like what I went over before, that low. Or break and retest above here. There's this low here. That low there. Or above here. Yeah, like see, there's a lot of movement up. There should, I would think like a pullback could happen. Something like this. Price might stall down, reject, form bearish candles. You know what I'm saying? How you guys? And now we're above what was the all-time high. We are above that now, which pretty much lines up with like 3,250, you know? Not bad. Not bad. That's a big dump. Let's see. Otherwise, it's like you're high now. It's one of those places where it's high. It could just rip up like stop loss. Like a stop loss from buying at these levels is far. Like it's down here, the low. Like it's not really the best position to buy here. Maybe like even stop would have to be here. It's not. You have time to wait. I think. Break above, retest or pullbacks. Hold the line if hold till end of the month if you have any trades down here. You break even. That's where like if you get a trade that goes far from your entry, Part of the risk in trading is like risking like, okay, I'm up this much money, I'm not gonna close it, I'm gonna try to let my winner run. So there's some FOMO. There's different types of patience in trading. There's patience for waiting for a trade. There's patience for while you're in a trade too. Like you might have the eagerness to close a trade the moment it goes into profit, the moment you see profits on the trade. You might spend 2 hours in a trade in the negative, or you know it doesn't move much for 2 hours, and then next thing you know it moves and you close it right away. Meanwhile, you just spent 2 minutes holding it to catch that move. That might be how you play the game, right? Only the game can teach you the game, really. So that might be how you play the game. You're holding a trade, it goes into profit, right when it goes into profit, close, get out. Okay, that's fine if that works for you, if that's what your edge is. If the more times you do something, you can have an edge over it. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. If you enter a trade and it goes into profit right away, and you close and it's 10 pips, 20 pips, and you can do that consistently, it's fine, right? If you, any edge you can find over the market, right, for yourself. But there's different types of patience, like holding a trade, because if you're holding a trade for 3 hours, 2 hours, and it goes into profit, and you just have the eagerness to close it the moment it goes into profit, you can't get that entry back, and that's gonna maybe make you look for an entirely new setup. Like you might just look for an entirely new setup that might not be there, or it's like, I just could have kept the original setup. So it's like holding time is another thing of patience. Like while you're in a trade, if you're looking to catch bigger moves, you're gonna have to get used to holding it. You're gonna have to teach yourself that patience of holding until break even, holding until you're lost, holding until partials, or holding until the market says, okay, I think I'm wrong, this isn't looking right. So like patience of holding a trade, waiting for a trade. Because in these conditions, it's like there's trades, there's entries that we had back here that we took and closed right. And there's like entries that we would have had on some of these down candles that we would have taken and closed right in that moment. Closed within the hour, closed within the 2 hours. There's trades we've taken back in here that, you know, in the last couple months, there's trades that we've taken that we entered and within an hour or two we closed it. And those same positions we could still be holding. No risk. The only risk was the time, or it wouldn't have came back to our entries is the point I'm getting to. A lot of trades like that. Probably even you guys just alone on your own trading have that. So like these conditions, how long are they gonna last for? Well, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world with these tariffs, trade wars going on. So next 90 days I think should be interesting. I mean, you could look for rejection and pauses in the candles, like slowdowns. Like, I mean, there's different candlestick patterns, like a wick. There's a wick rejection here. This candle shows buying activity slowing down. This current candle shows maybe it's gonna reject bearish, flip bearish. 30-minute too, if you're looking, okay, maybe there's a slowdown here on the 30-minute. We could see a wick rejection at that 75. You could see 30-minute, maybe even flipping to turn bearish. So if you're looking at maybe like, how do I know when price is going to go down? It's kind of navigating through different time frames. Look at the hourly here. Hourly, if we're looking at the hour, it has a wick at the top, small body. So if it closes like that, that shows some exhaustion in price. That shows that there was buyers, but sellers took control. Buying activity is weakening down a bit, right? It's turning over. 30-minute has some rejection, so you could kind of like cross-analyze some of these time frames from the 1 hour. I could see the 1 hour, maybe that's rejecting. See 30-minute, 15. So I could watch different time frames to kind of get an idea of, okay, maybe this could push down, and this is my setup. If I'm looking for this to go down or this to go down, if I could see the if I think the 30 is going to go down, or if I think the hourly might close bearish, right? you can kind of navigate through different time frames to see if price is slowing down at a peak between the 15, the 30, even the hourly. Me, I'm not gonna look for sells because I'm just chilling. I got some buys this week. Gonna let it go. If I see this thing dump like 34, if I see it dump, I'll let you guys know if I enter. If I see it dump tonight, if I'm not streaming later in London session or something. But if I see it dump, I'll let you. I missed. There was an entry I missed the other night where I was gonna stay up and I didn't. And if I stayed up a little longer, I would have missed it. Tried to call it out, but it was gone. I was gonna. So we gotta see. I gotta watch price tonight. 3,500 on the way, son. $4,000 on the way. Goldman Sachs thinks. Goldman Sachs. That's Wall Street. Wall Street has a nice prediction for where gold's gonna go by the end of the year, kind of mid next year. That's Goldman Sachs saying this, not me. Okay. So I'll be like, Evan told me gold was gonna go to 4,000. Okay. Goldman Sachs GS has raised its price forecast to gold closer to 4,000. Basically for like 2020, like end of 2025. Yeah, end 2020. Yeah, around that time. Maybe mid 2026. I think by the end of the year, it could be at like these. If you read this, take like 5 minutes to read this if you haven't. Some of you guys already read this probably. We went over it. We went over on Saturday, Sunday in Inner Circle, and I brought it up on YouTube Monday. Yeah, gold is just nice. This is why I tell people being a gold trader is the best. I mean, to each their own. I know people who do really well with indices and they correlate that really well to like similar things I do with gold and news and stuff. So but I think these days, like if you look at gold, it's like what a better time to be a gold trader. You know. What about, you know? If you really understand, if you have time on gold, like kind of like anything in life, the more time you have on it, the more hours, like the more you understand it. So if you like really understand gold, and how do you understand gold? It's just putting more time in it. If you put more time in it, you understand it more. Realistically. So that's it. That's like putting time into it. That's how you if traders who understand gold these days, like me, it's a great time. So I read this. So there's some price predictions here. The closest one is 35.50. You can see here with year end prices closer to this. So that's the. You guys can read this for a bit. I'll scroll it down. Read this. It's from again Goldman Sachs. That's Wall Street. I'll be back 2 minutes. I'm gonna grab something in a second. $5K. Yeah. I'm for it. Well, it going, yeah, like price is sort of over 46%. Like just in yesterday, 3,200, $72 higher. What's gold spot price at? Probably on the way to 30. This is like close to 3,300, the gold spot price. So if that hits 3,300, there'll probably be resistance, right? It's close to it, like 90s. So yeah, same thing. We, you know, look at it. Oof, see, this thing looks like it wants to break. That's what you can wait for. Wait for bullish scenarios still. I don't know how long we're gonna be on. Pullbacks, bullish scenarios. I mean, since gold's so big and there's a lot of uncertainty in the world and there's a lot of inflows in it, you can pretty much see it move at a lot of times in the day, like sessions basically, going into sessions or market opens, right? Because again, it's worldwide. So like before your sessions, so maybe 2 hours before, volume starts to pick up, good time to look at it. 2 hours, even before your sessions, going into your sessions, when your sessions finish, it can move a lot of different sections of the day. Pre-London, pre-New York, going into New York, when London's finished, Sydney, Tokyo, like these hours, and then later hours Tokyo. Like when does gold move? It's like always. So a lot of movement can happen on it, so keeping up with it sometimes, you can miss. You're not going to catch every move. You're not going to catch every single move on it. Because otherwise, yeah, you'd have to be really glued to it. And then if you're glued to it all the time like that, you might end up over trading a bit, taking more trades, not holding some of your winners, getting it in and out of trades more, which can be like a scalping style, like if that's for you. But you're not gonna catch every move on it, like, because with the way it moves, it is quite volatile. Volatility is there. The volatility is there, but it's there consistently around different times of the day. I like to kind of think of them as like windows, kind of like sections in the day, like windows of the day, like areas, like pre-London going into London, or 8, 9, 10, that window, it can move. This window, there's like different sections of the day. You get used to keeping up with it, like just spending more time on gold, daily watching it. You'll get used to like seeing like, I moved here, I did the same thing I did yesterday at this time, like looking at like, where was it yesterday at this? Well, now we can't do that with this price, but like if there's days we could look at like, okay, price was here, where was it the day before? Was it, sometimes it's at the same price at the same time, so doing a similar move, doing like a similar characteristic what it was doing the day before, one day after apart. Rejection happening here. So someone asked like, how would you know if it's gonna drop? Well, some characteristics, so some of those characteristics I was saying before, like the candlesticks. So if we're watching this, it's like it's showing some signs here. See these candles? Those are the types of candles at a top. Pin bars, spinning tops. So even this on the 30 again, it's still kind of there on the 30. 1 hour is going to be more like a pin bar, or like a shooting star almost. Wick, small body. These types of candlesticks can kind of tell you, give you some evidence, like tell you what the market's doing. If they close, like if this closes bearish, if you get more of a solid close here could signal downside on the next candle, or if the 30-minute closes bearish, it could signal downside on the next candle, right? This 1 hour is looking like a shooting star at the moment with 16 minutes left on it remaining. So it's like this might have some downside if it closes. Like, you could look at this from a 1 hour frame and say this 1 hour is 15 minutes left. It looks like it's going to close bearish. So that means it could go down more, and even the next one could drop. Like, you'd be really just trading the next hourly candle. And maybe this one, if you're willing to take the short of this stop loss at the top of the candle, right? If this was going to close like a shooting star, this could be close to closing like a shooting star on the 1 hour time frame. If you guys are familiar with candlestick patterns, maybe I can find it, pull it up real quick. Typically, you might see typically at the top of a peak, typically at a peak, when the market's making a peak, you could get candlesticks like this forming at a market peak. Maybe something like this at a peak, where it shows some exhaustion in price, or we would even, that's like a small body candle, but not looking for that. There you go, hammer pin bar, but we need the opposite because that's at the bottom of a trend. Really something like this right here. Maybe on different time frames, like you can see on the 1 hour, it could be forming that on the 1 hour chart in 14 minutes, right? So a shooting star, that's a bearish pin bar. Candlesticks like this, you can see a familiar, almost there, right? 30-minute, you can see how these candles are sort of small. They're not pushing up, they're slowing down, showing exhaustion. That 15-minute close bearish. The candle before it has like small body. These types of candles typically form at like a peak where some rejection could be coming in. These between the 15, 30, and 1 hour, you can see the 1 hour is forming potentially a bearish candle of its own, which looks like this. You can see if I'm on a 1 hour, this 1 hour is potentially forming a shooting star. If I go to a 30-minute, though, I could see even like rejection happening there. 15, I can see some slowdown happened up there. So like it shows the 1 hour could pull down, or even the next 1 hour, because this 1 hour is 13 minutes. So if this candle were to close like that, it could be like something like this, right? Where the next candlestick drops after this candlestick, right? The next candle could go down. So kind of paying attention when you're in situations like this at a peak. It's like paying attention to price. Is it slowing down? Is it exhausting? These candles, you can kind of see that. These smaller body wicks right here. There's a 15-minute. Even if you were like more aggressive, faster, you're thinking, okay, this 15-minute rejected, you could have entered right here before this candle opened, or as it was closing, it's going down. You'd want to see if that were to stick on the hourly, basically. If you were shorting this, it's like, okay, I got 12 minutes to the next candle. What's this candle going to do? You can't just justify and say it's going to close bearish, because in the last 1 minute of the candle, it could flip up. So it's like, at times when you're seeing a candle like this forming, and 12 minutes till it's closing, you have to understand in the last 30 seconds, the candle could flip bullish. It could do that. That's happened to me a lot of times. So you're taking the risk of knowing that too if you're trading this candle or leaning towards the next one more in situations like this, where the market's really high and it's making a peak. Because the next candle, if this one were to close the way it is, it could potentially drop bearish, more into the range. Right? The next candlestick could have some bearish momentum potentially if this candlestick were to pretty much like solidify how it is right now. If this candle were to, let's say, close bearish, how it is, or how it just was like seconds ago, then it could angle the momentum towards the next candle. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, you got, that's like a candlestick. You can't always, you get, if you guys are live, if you guys, any of you guys who have been live with me consistently, I've heard me say that too. Like, we can't always justify like it's gonna close like this. If we've been, there's been times we've been in buy situations. Like, sometimes it's looking like, oh, it's gonna close bearish. There's 10 minutes left. Yeah, it's gonna be a bearish candle, but it could flip bullish in the last 30 seconds of the candle, or the last 30. Like, really, you get that solidified close, and knowing closer to the finish of it. When you get more experience, you can kind of pre-think and say, yeah, I think this is gonna close bearish, or you can look at it like, you can gain more confidence over time from experience and seeing these situations a lot, and you can know, okay, I got 8 minutes left, or it's like I got 4 minutes left. It's probably gonna close bearish. I'll take the risk of this trade and see what happens for the next hour. See within the next maybe 30 minutes to an hour what happens, how price works, if it starts to stick and hold that bias. If that's what I'm seeing, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Type in the chat if I'm making sense tonight. Type in the chat if we're making sense. Hopefully we're making sense tonight. Because it's like 9 minutes left. How much can this candle drop in 9 minutes if it's still, like, it's not going to just come all the way down here. I wouldn't think that. It's probably more if it's going to drop the next candle if it closes bearish, right? Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, you gotta watch price too. Like, watching price like this will help you. You can always back test and go, oh, yeah, we could look at a candle like this. See, like, we always back test and say, oh, like, look at these candles. That would have been a perfect time to sell, right? You can see how price pushed up. Exhaustion. These are spinning tops right here. And like 2 tweezer tops formed at the same time as well. You could see these candles, and look what the next candle does, but the next candle also wicked up and then dumped down first, right? So you guys back test and look at, like, this is like a rejection candle right here. See, like, it's similar to what's forming right now, and the next candle drops afterwards. Like, at peaks, you'll get a rejection candle when the market's trending up like this. Like, here's one, but the next candle went up. So I just continued the trend. See this candle here? We just pushed up. So that actually was more of a support. And then the market retested that. Up here, there's, see these 2 candles? And how after those 2, you can just get one that drops. See this candle? And then you get one that just drops after. See this candle? And then you get one that drops after. This candle, nothing. See here, this is a nice candle right here. Okay, that's a sign. That's good evidence. But the next candle didn't drop, and nothing's gonna happen 100% of the time at trading, right? But that's the idea of what it looks like, right? And if I was there and I was bearish, I was like, if it wasn't these times and I saw a candle like that, I'd be like, I think the next candle is gonna go down. But it broke up, and it continued up, and then ended up retesting that same candle. Up here, similar candle. You can see the same candlestick right there and right there. Next one goes down. This one didn't. It would have been a good spot to anticipate. Like, if you were here, it would have been a good spot to anticipate. Let's go down and look for buys. Let's go down and look for buys. The market did that. The market went up and did that same thing. Let's go down and look for buys, right? The market still did that, right? So this could even, like, depending on how this finishes in like 6 minutes, next candle could drop. Even if it went up, it could still do the same drop we're looking for right now, right? At one point, you'll get that bigger drop coming in. It could be this candle where maybe this takes you down tonight. If you were looking for shorts, I'm not looking for shorts, but I'm just giving you guys analysis what I see. I've been calling out buys the last couple months, so I'll wait. I'll let this come down, if anything. Watch price. Look for those pullbacks, entries. Try to go with the flow, go with the trend more so. That's what name of the game's been. What do I think about Bitcoin? Overall, like short term, there's always going to be volatility with Bitcoin. Short term, everything right now, it's short term volatility. Long term, we know what it's doing. But short term, you're just going to keep getting a lot of volatility and a lot more headlines and news and adoption with Bitcoin. But adoption's happening, whether we like how the crypto market's trading or not. There's adoption overall happening with crypto. So I'm gonna take my camera might be in the way. So this is just corporate US, not global. Just companies. This is again companies, right? US quarterly Bitcoin holdings, quarterly by the quarter. So we're looking at by the quarter since 2020, how much Bitcoin has been accumulated and adopted, right? If you know about the FASB rule that went to an effect a year ago, over a year ago, but then it started this year before the tax season and stuff, that allowed companies to look at Bitcoin as a fair value. So if you were holding Bitcoin, if you were a company and holding Bitcoin before and Bitcoin went down through a period of time, you would have had to rule that in as a loss, right? So if you look up this rule has been something that in 2024, before going into 2024, that was really coming up, and then it got passed this past year. So again, it allows companies to hold Bitcoin at a fair value versus like having to put like for losses and gains. Like if it drops, if it were to drop before in the past, they would have had to calculate that and show that as a loss, right? Even if the price went up after, right? So that was a big thing. Still, a lot of people don't even know about. That's why more companies have been adopting it. Not really caring even what prices they buy at, to be honest. If you look at since 2020, this is every quarter again. So total Bitcoin holdings, and that, again, this is just companies, US, right? Number of public companies holding Bitcoin now, 79. 12 new companies bought Bitcoin this quarter. You got the top 5 companies there that are holding BTC. Tesla, Strategy, Mara, Riot, CleanSpark. Strategy, MicroStrategy with 528,000 coins. So that's 528,000. All that, those 5 companies have that supply. Who knows if they're ever going to sell that, right? The supply of Bitcoin in 10 years, the supply of Bitcoin is going to be completely different than it is now, how it comes out. 4 years, 8 years, especially 10 years from now. So you can see the first quarter of Bitcoin purchases, like, going up. That's why I said, like, Bitcoin is just below 90,000. Like this morning it was at 86, right? Just below. That's like just below. With the way it moves, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 moves happening daily, $10,000 moves even up to that. With the way it's moving, that's not that far. And lower 70s aren't that far either. On the negative side, like 70,000 is not that far, right? 72,000. These lower 70s, right? If it's the first quarter of 2025, it's been being accumulated up here, up here, up here, up here. It's being accumulated more and more and more and adopted more and more and more, right? So this staying power is pretty impressive. The strength, the staying power, especially with everything going on in the world, it's showing in times of crisis, it holds value too. Because if you had one Bitcoin, it'd still be at just below 90,000, right? If you had 10 Bitcoin, 20, 50, 100, I mean, if you're thinking about those numbers like a lot, if you think of having like 10 Bitcoins a lot, like just think about that there's people that hold 528,000, 11,000. There's individuals that have thousands, hundreds, right? Single people. So like having 1, having 5, having 10, you see a value there, especially with everything going on. There's good staying power with this coin here, right? Bitcoin. Above those previous all-time highs. 4 hourly coming down. Like it's been showing some bullish price action here. If you're looking at break a structure, bullish, break a structure, bullish. Well, what's that? It just hit 83. Probably a little bounce from here. If not, you're gonna maybe test this structure to see if it maintains, come down, retest the lows, try to hold it. There was a nice setup here. You've been breaking these highs. It looks like it wants to come for this high. And if it can really take those out, like we have these highs here. To me, this is accumulating. And for how long does this accumulate? Does it go up, accumulate, flush out, accumulate, rip later on in the year? To me, this is a big accumulation happening on Bitcoin. Bearish accumulation. Fear, FOMO. There's a lot of fear, FOMO. It's an interesting market. It could come down. It could do what it's doing right now. Like it's going up, coming down. It's going up, coming down. It's going back up, rallying back down. It's having moves up, coming down. It's having moves up. It's going up, it's going down. It's accumulating from the looks of it. It's going up. It could come back down. It could even go trade lower. It could have the same ups, down. Like it could, kind of like what happened back in here. Like back in here, it spent a lot of time going down and up, down and up, down and up, right? Down and up. Spent a lot of time here going kind of sideways, down and up before really ripping up. So it could do that. It could stay in a phase like that where it's down and up, and down and up, and down and up. And then it takes off to the when you have a good phase in the market. That could happen. Like the weekly, last week closed bullish. This week even started to push up. Last week was a bullish close. The monthly looks interesting. From a monthly, like 14 days left on the month. The monthly looks pretty interesting. Like a break and retest previous all-time highs. I know we all know our basics, so I mean from the basics there, the monthly looks really interesting. But we know, like, one thing I know from all the research I'm doing, videos I watch, there's accumulation happening. Clearly. And the reason, like, so let's talk about why we've been going down. Like, ETF, let's look at ETF inflows and outflows. Look at that. So, ETF outflows. Look at that, last 7 days. I think 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like look at since March 28th, like it's just been outflows, 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 outflows of Bitcoin. That was the first positive day we've had in 7 days, right there, 1.5 million. And then today, in 7 days. What is this? Bitwise. Oh, Bitwise, look at that. Speaking of them, and ARK, Franklin, and Grayscale. No BlackRock, but BlackRock yesterday. For, you know, we can see the dates they inflow. These are by the millions. 36 million BlackRock yesterday after 2 days nothing. Some outflows. This first day and like 7 days. So if you look at the last 7 days on Bitcoin, for the ETFs, it's been outflows. And price for Bitcoin, I mean we've been pretty good the last 7 days, I'd say. Shows you the power there. Those ETFs, Wall Street, they're remember, I said this too when ETFs came out, and I've said this through the year. Bitcoin's a different vehicle. It's a different animal. It's a different beast. Don't think for a second that they don't get FOMO as well and experience the same emotion. Because there was times where they were selling low and bought back at higher prices. Literally back in December. Like, there was times where these ETFs were out and they literally bought back at way higher prices. And it was like, what are they doing? And you saw them like buy, and then they sold, and then like price was going down, and they were selling. Like, price was crashing on Bitcoin. ETFs, when was that? There was a time, like, it was funny. One of these times, it would have been one of these times where it was like a crash happening. It would have been one of those back there, and the ETFs were like all outflowing, and then they ended up like outflowing money, but they bought more money back at like a higher price, even more at higher. It was interesting, like, so yeah, when you look at the last 7 days, like, money's been leaving the ETFs for Bitcoin. I mean, market's been pretty nice the last 7 days for Bitcoin. Saw Solana rip up from $100 to like 132. So, I mean, there's demand there. Doesn't need to be from here. This is global, right? These are just U.S. These are just these ETFs, right, for the U.S., right? And this, again, just U.S. companies, right, that are holding Bitcoin. All right. GameStop raises $1.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. Even Selmer Scientific, I don't know who that is, but they got 1,100 plus Bitcoin. MetaPlanet announces plan to acquire 10,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025. So MetaPlanet, that's basically Japan's micro strategy. And they announced that they plan to acquire 10,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025. So they plan to keep buying as Bitcoin supply comes out more, right? Like, Bitcoin supply is going to keep coming out, and they're right? So, and they got all these companies holding, so it's not rocket science right now. Daily, you have some bullish price action from the looks of it. Even to me, like, up, down, up, down. I like to think, like, if this was gold, I'd be bullish. How this looks, how the price is kind of shifting. Yeah, we're probably gonna wrap it up in a little bit, guys. I'm gonna check the chat. Let me see. Some of you guys had a good week. My week is great. Made 6K in 2 days. Can't complain. That's a good week right there. 6,000 in 2 days. I would take that any week. It's like 25 G's a month. If you can make 6K a week, you're pretty good. Them Temu ads, eh? maybe I jump on for London. New York, gonna watch New York when it opens, see where the market's at. Kind of like I did like yesterday, today. Wonder how New York is tomorrow. Wonder how the next 90 days go, man. This year, I wonder how this year goes. Shit. Buy Bitcoin. Not financial advice. Do your research. Looking at a picture right now. Go watch this interview. I gotta watch it. I watched like 10 minutes of it because it's an hour and like 20 minutes. So, see what this says real quick.
But then I've also seen Letnick and others talk about this idea of, well, maybe there's external revenue that we can drive and be able to use that. So like, how are you guys maybe from a framework standpoint thinking about, okay, what are the ways that we could go buy more Bitcoin?
Well, I think that Senator Lummis has really an interesting idea with the Bitcoin Act of 2025, which I know has taken the community by storm. But here, what you would do is you'd revalue the gold certificates that we currently have at Treasury, most of which are valued, I think, around like $43 an ounce, which is,
a lot lower than what it's really worth.
Correct. Yeah. So now we're sitting at what, $3,100 an ounce, with being the price of gold. And if you took that value, what you could do is use that extra funding in order to buy more Bitcoin that could be used for the reserve. But that's just one idea. And, that's currently circulating its way through Capitol Hill, and we'll see how many co-sponsors she can get and how she can pull her colleagues on board. But we're looking at many creative ways, whether it be from tariffs, whether it be from something else. I mean, there's literally countless ways in which you can do this. And, I'll defer to, some of our members inside of the interagency working group to see what ideas they come up with inside of their own shops. But we'll look at everything. Everything's on the table. And like we've said, we want as much as we can get. So we're going to make sure that no stone is unturned as we start fleshing out some of these processes.
Yeah. That's Bo Hines, like the crypto executive guy. That's the guy right there. They hired secretary guy. Forget the term. Forget the exact name. But yeah, that's you can watch that whole interview on YouTube. Check it out. I like that. I think that sounded pretty good. He was like, we're trying to buy as much as we can there. Catch that? I think he said that.
There's literally countless ways in which you can do this. And, I'll defer to, some of our members inside of the interagency working group to see what ideas they come up with inside of their own shops. But we'll look at everything. Everything's on the table. And like we've said, we want as much as we can get. So we're going to make sure that
yeah, we want as much as we can get. There's only going to be 21 million, but you have 10 years to really get that 4%. 4 or 5, like, until that last 1% of Bitcoin is mined, which takes a long time. So yeah, makes sense. Want to get as much as we can get, because any country that wants to do this later, if any country wants to establish this 10 years from now, 8 years from now, it'll be harder to do then. There won't be as much, maybe, Bitcoin on the table. So it's interesting what the potential is, and all the rumors, news, information and stuff like this going around with it. But yeah, you could definitely check that interview. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I want to watch it tonight. Be on in the morning for New York. Goldie, what is it doing? What'd the 1 hour do? See, the 1 hour closed bearish, but see, there's a bearish close there. What's silver look like? See, the thing about silver too, silver looks bullish to me. Right? Like, silver looks bullish. Look at silver, like, it looks bullish. More like to go up. Gold, you're gonna have to wait. Maybe break and retest above here. Break and retest above. Or again, same thing. I'll post these charts in school. Discord, but I think for the night, guys, that's really it. We went over a lot. Went over a lot tonight so far this week. I called out buys here on Saturday, Sunday. Went over it. I was live. Told you guys I was in buys. Live, and then this morning. This morning was nice. That accumulation was nice this morning. But I'm going to wrap it up for this evening. We've been on for about 2 hours now. Yeah, 2 hours right now. Hope you guys got some value. And yeah, plug in tomorrow. If I'm not on later tonight, might be on later. But I'll keep you guys updated in Discord. Plug in tomorrow morning. I'll be live New York Open tomorrow morning. Be live tomorrow. Plug in tomorrow. Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow. Remember that. So that could be interesting where the market is. But 1:30. We'll probably be live for that too. Start stream later tomorrow and try to. If we start early, that's a long stream. It's either stream, take a break, or might probably gonna come on. When's the news? We got news tomorrow. We got 8:30 news. Okay, I got 8:30 news tomorrow. And then Powell. Gonna be on for New York Open tomorrow. Peace. I'm gonna watch that interview.